In this video, I'm going to tell you what the best things were about leaving the cult that I was born into, and it took me 22 years before I managed to get out. This video is aimed at people who are in religious cults who might be thinking about leaving, but there's many reasons and there's many chains and things that are binding them to their lifestyle. Maybe they were born into it, many are. There's 1,000 cults in the UK, thousands around the world. And I know that there's people who feel trapped, they want to get out and they can't. And I want to tell you in this video my experience of what it was like escaping from all of that, the best things about it, and in it you can just think about it yourself, because it's not just my view but the view of hundreds of thousands of people who have left cults over the decades, of which I'm going to compile a list of what their best things were. So let's get on with it. So upon thinking about this subject, one of the greatest things for me about leaving the cult was to discover my identity. I didn't realise straight away that this was going to be such a major thing, because I was born into the exclusive brethren, and to me the lifestyle was absolutely completely took over your life. 11 meetings a week, and we were controlled where we lived, where we slept, what we eat, who we ate with. You wouldn't believe that nearly every aspect of our life was controlled and under law. And so I grew up with masks, many different masks. My identity was a clone of one man who ruled the cult, and every time they died, another one took over, and they changed the laws and the rules at will. And I was a clone, and I was masked up, and I didn't know who I was. And so growing up, there was a mental problem that you just didn't fit in, and you didn't feel comfortable in your skin, and you had a smile on your face which was false, and it was awkward and embarrassing. And so one of the greatest things was, as the months went by after leaving, I started to realize that I'm free. I'm free from that control. I'm free and allowed to explore and discover who I am and to be myself. And I had 2 wild years in the book Cult Escape, which I wrote, which talks about this subject in great detail. You must get it. It's a great book. I described the longest chapter, in fact, chapter 10, is called The 2 Wild Years. And after leaving for 2 years, I was wild. I was had been like a spring tightened up, like in a jack-in-the-box, and I sprung out, and I explored freely, and I made lots of mistakes, and it was okay, because I was learning, and I was finding my feet and finding who I was, and I was finding out, exploring things and learning what I didn't want to be doing and who I wasn't. And sometimes you've got to go through those things, and to have the freedom to do that is a good thing. You can't be mollycoddled and cotton walled up by your parents all your life. They've got to let you fly. They've got to let you explore and go on the adventure of life and learn for yourself. That's the only way you can learn. And so that was a massive one for me. The freedom from control was incredible coming out of it, and it started on the 7th of November 1988, when I made a commitment to myself. 4 years of misery of being in the cult and wanting to be out, but I was stuck on the fence. But in that moment, on that day, in the afternoon of 3 p.m, I made a commitment that I was out of there, because in 10 years time I would be 10 years more miserable. And I realised, not for me, I'm out of here. And a burden lifted off my shoulders, a weight disappeared, and I was free. I felt free for the first time ever. And it took me 3 months to get my own accommodation, to move out and move on from the cult. And so I was able to then explore this world and discover the incredible creative talents and gifts there, the musicians, the sports people, the actors, the people in this world which are full of creativity And I was able to start to discover who I was, and the creativity in me, which had been being blocked, or which had been snipped like a bonsai tree, where they snip the roots so it never can grow to what it's meant to be. It always stays a miniature. And I wasn't just a miniature, I was a freak. I was free to go and get a degree. I was free to choose my career. I was free to explore and express who I was. I was free to have a pet, because we weren't allowed to have pets, and I love cats. And I was able to have pets for the first time, and that was a wonderful experience for me. I was able to get healed from all the indoctrination and the control, because when you've been in a cult, and you may be in the Jehovah's Witnesses right now, or the Mormons, or I was in the Exclusive Brethren until 1988. There's, as I say, 1,000 cults just in the UK. They'll tell a cult if it's controlling your life, and if there's someone you have to follow, and whatever he or she says or they say, you have to follow, otherwise there's bad consequences. Your life is under control, dictated by what they say. And it took me a long time to get really almost, I don't know, pretty much fully healed, to the point whereby I can see that the error of the ways of which I was in, and the way that these cults, they're so self-righteous, and they think that they're the only right church on earth. They all think that. Every single one of them. They have a package of doctrine. If they're a Bible cult, it's from Genesis to Revelation, and they know it all, but they all disagree with everyone else. And I was able to get free from that, and I was allowed to fly. I was allowed to my wings to grow again, or not again, to grow for the first time, and to soar, and to experience, and to breathe in the good air of this universe, which is for me to enjoy to the full, not to be restricted and restrained and constrained and clenched, because that's what they do. They clench you up, and that's why you end up like one of those. Anyway, I was free to have this, a beard. I mean, it's not the greatest thing on earth, but if I want to have it, I'll have it. If I want to shave it off, I'll shave it off. I'm free. It's a small thing, but these liberties, these freedoms which I didn't have, to me, and when you find that you didn't have to live under the control of one person or one group, it's wonderful. And lastly, one of the things that bound me and bind you up if you're in a cult are the scriptural interpretation from your holy book, or your books of the leaders that have written books, and they have lots of writings. And I was in a Christian cult, and of course we knew Genesis to Revelation back to front, and we had the right interpretation. You know something? Their interpretations are all wrong. I've come to see that they can be interpreted in so many ways, but they either lead to restriction and law and repression, or they lead to freedom and love. And the greatest thing I would say, actually, yes, even greater than finding my identity, although it's all part of it, is that I realised that I am now free to love, whereas before I was not able to, because I was in a division. I was divided. We were separate from the world, and you know what? You can't love people that way, as I've come to find. It's horrendous, actually, because love is what makes everything work. Love is all we need. And God is love. If you believe in God, love is God. And so without being able to do that, without being able to share with people and to talk to people and share my life with people, go and have a cup of coffee with people, whoever, anyone, love them and get to know them and talk to them and help them and be helped as well, you're not loving yourself. You're not loving them. You can't do it. And so what I'd like you to do, this is a long video now, 9 minutes, sorry about this, is I'd like you to write in the comments, if you were being in a cult, the best thing about leaving the cult, what was it? And I'm going to compile a list on the internet, on the website, I should say, on cultescape.com. The link will be below. A list of the things of which you all say, who have left cults, the best things about leaving the cult. And that's going to potentially be of interest and help to somebody who's sitting on the fence right now, who's trapped in a cult, anywhere in the world who's watching this, who is questioning what it will be like on the other side, let me tell you something. The other side is the side of light, love, and where you can be yourself and explore and make some mistakes, and it's okay, because that's how you learn, and that's how you grow, and that's how you are able to love, which is what it's all about. Thanks for listening, and please subscribe, please like and comment, and I'll see you soon.